Hey Trayvon, it's Josh Dubois from AP. Just as one of the guys on the defense, what needs to improve on this defense? What do you guys need to make this defense a little more consistent?
Well, for us, first we gotta come together as a whole. We gotta know what we want as a defense. We gotta set goals. We gotta set standards, and we gotta create an identity. Then once we start there, then everything else we can just build on. For me, that's what I believe.
Uh-huh. Trayvon, Jerry McDonald from Bay Area News. Do you have, you think, a core of players that can make that happen, or do you think you'll see a lot of additions?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Do you have a core of players already that can make that happen, or are you going to need a lot of additions, or just a little bit of work?
No, I believe we have the guys. We have guys in the building that can do it and get that job done. We got guys like Cory Littleton, Nick Konkowski. We got Nick Morrow. Well, we got me in the secondary. We got Jonathan Abram. We got Max Crosby, Cleveland Furrow. We just got to put it together. We all just got to come together. Like I said, we got to set a foundation for our defensive group, and we just got to continue to build and become something special if that's something we really want.
Hey, Trayvon, this is Vinny with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. You went through an entire offseason last offseason, so you know what that looks like in terms of OTAs and mini camps and building a foundation and chemistry at that point. You guys didn't have that this year. Do you feel like it was detrimental, especially for such a young defense like yours?
Yeah, I believe so, but I be at a point too. You just got to have a mindset. It comes down to your mindset, your goals. What do you want? I mean, it's a lot of things can happen. A lot of things come up. I mean, we can have many excuses, but it's like get to a point of what are you going to do about it, and that's for most part how I think and my beliefs, and that's just how it is.
Hey Trayvon, this is Vic. Do you think the change at coordinator helped you guys this season?
I mean that's not my call to make or whatever, and that's not my decision. I mean, I'm just here for whoever it is. I know I'm going to give my all. We should as well, but whatever it is, I know Coach got his best interest, and if that's what it has to be, and we just got to move forward with that.
Hey Trayvon, it's Tashawn Reed from The Athletic. This is your first year being the full-time starter. What did you learn from this year, and how do you think you performed?
From this year, I just learned, man, you just gotta continue to get better. You can't take no days off. You gotta stay healthy. Be able to be dependent on. You gotta be able to make plays in big time situations. Gotta keep guys together. And for me, it's some things I gotta get better at. I know I will get better at. I played pretty well, but I know I can be more dominant in a lot of areas, and that will happen for sure. I know. And that's about it.
Trayvon, Heidi Fang, Las Vegas Review-Journal. You're talking a lot about goals and identity of the defense, and I wanted to ask for yourself, what goals of yours did you accomplish, and what was the high point for you this season?
Well, for me, I just want to become more of a leader for the guys. No younger guys specific, because I know I was in that position. Continue to carry and help guys, and create a platform, and just know what we want, know what I want. Like I do, set goals for myself all the times, and things that I need to pinpoint on, and things that I can help us as a group get better at. So, like I said, we can just build.
Trayvon, you had two guys in the secondary that, between Damon Arnett and Jonathan Abram, who both kind of play with an edge, and they both struggled in different ways with their health and with COVID-19 absences, that kind of thing. Between you and those two guys, do you see you three guys as, sort of being sort of the core to this secondary going forward?
I mean, yes, that can happen most definitely, and I believe it should happen. We just gotta, like I said, everybody just gotta do their part. You gotta know what you want. You gotta want more. You gotta want to win, and you just gotta put in what it takes. You gotta go over and beyond and just do what it takes.
Anything else for Trayvon, guys?
Good.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Trayvon.
Thanks,
Okay,
Trayvon.
thanks. All right.
Hey, Cory, it's Josh Dubois from AP. Just why do you think things did not go as well as maybe you and the team expected this year?
We have a really young team. We came up against a lot of challenges, no different than a lot of other teams, but just trying to overcome those things with, not having an off-season program, not really be able to get to know each other, a lot of different group of guys. Probably contributed a little bit. That's about it.
Hey, Cory. Review Journal. Was there ever a point in time this year where you felt comfortable in this defense, in this scheme, with the responsibilities that you were asked to carry out?
I don't know if I can actually pinpoint an exact date or time, but I can say as the season progressed, I felt more and more comfortable through the year. Earlier in the season, I felt like a chicken with its head cut off. But I can say that my game yesterday, I felt more comfortable and a lot similar to my old self.
Cory, Jerry Mcdonald from the Bay Area News Group. Was this a defensive system you think that put you in position to make plays?
I wouldn't necessarily. It's a brand new system that we just created overnight after we lost PG. Necessarily, we're still doing a lot of the same things that we were doing before. We just simplified it down a little bit, and we just didn't have a lot of things. But we still had all the same calls that we had back in training camp. So I can't say we had a different system, per se.
Hey, Cory, this is Vic. Why do you think you guys had so much trouble with cover two in the last half of the year?
It has to go into communication. Communication is a key thing, and also just fundamentals and just little simple rules and techniques. Everybody just has to be on the same page and be able to do those little things, and unfortunately we weren't able to.
Cory, this is Vinny again. How important do you think it'll be to have a regular offseason this year, regardless of who the defensive coordinator is, but just the ability to get into the building in the spring and build a foundation, something that you guys weren't able to do last spring?
Oh, I promise you, it'd be a 10 times difference of what we showed than what we would have if we did have an off season together. I felt within myself I had to grow and learn a lot of things that necessarily I would have been able to do in April all the way to June, and you miss out on a lot in a way that basically when we hit game time, that's crunch time. You should already know it, have it all down, and we missed a lot.
Cory, what kind of goals have you set for yourself coming into this season with a new team, a new city, and how do you feel the result of what you had projected for yourself came out?
It came out miserably. I've always said that I've always wanted to keep myself and keep my play at like a top 5 linebacker. And the 2 previous seasons I had starting, that was always my goal, and I didn't come nowhere close to it this year. So yeah, that's how that went.
Cory, Jerry Mcdonald again. Do you look around at a lot of your teammates on all 3 levels of defense and see a core of guys that can turn into a good defense in 1 year?
I believe we have all the potential that we really need to be able to win a championship. It's just finding that right cohesiveness to get us to be able to play all on the same page and actually get stuff done. Once that happens, we should be able to do it.
Any more questions for Cory, guys?
Yeah. Cory, John Becker from the Bay Area News Group. Yesterday, Max Crosby was saying that at times the defense suffered from a lack of focus, lack of detail, and a lack of intensity. Were those things that you noticed as well this year?
Most definitely. As I stated earlier, some guys in the cover 2 system, with that question earlier, just we're losing little fundamental things that if you're not on top of your keys and on these little progressions, it can hurt you. And we've been hurt a lot. Not just blaming one person, because it's happened all across the board, first level, second level, third level, all of it. We're not playing at the standard that we should be, and that's something we need to correct for next year.
Any last
Hey,
one?
Cory, it's Tashawn Reed from The Athletic. I know you said you didn't play up to the standard that you expected for yourself this season. What in particular do you think we need to improve on or shore up going into next season?
Tackling is for sure. I've missed 10 times as many tackles as I did the previous year, which is uncharacteristic and something that can't happen to be a good linebacker. And the other one is just really being able to just be comfortable enough to just be able to just make a play instead of just being able to think. And that's something that comes with more time in this system. So I just really want to get in the books this year and, be here, because I plan on staying in Vegas the whole time, and hopefully we can have an off season and get this going.
Oh, I want to do that. All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Cory.
Cory, appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
Heidi Fang, Las Vegas Review-Journal. I wanted to ask Nicholas just about this season. We've heard Trayvon say that this defense needs an identity, and the only way to go is up right now. What kind of identity do you think this defense needs, and how do you get started with it?
That's a good question. What I think the identity of defense needs, I don't know if I'm necessarily in a position to get this, but I think it's a point to where as a defense we have to, one, decide who we want to be, but I think that being accountable to our actions, being accountable to each other, I think that's the biggest thing. We just have to hold ourselves to a standard that is acceptable for a professional football player. And I think in some cases, if I'm being honest, we lack the accountability from players, from coaches. We all just have to be more accountable to our jobs, because we're all connected together. We're all in this together. You know what I'm saying? So our success individually is our success collectively. And so we just have to be accountable to one another. And we have to respect each other enough to put that on tape. And I don't think we did that as a whole throughout the entire season.
Hey, Nick, it's Josh Dubois from AP. Why does that happen, and how does that change?
Why does it happen? I couldn't tell you. How does it change? It just starts with everyone just making a decision. Like, I get paid to do this job. I love this game. It's a passion for me. And because of that, I owe my teammates this. I owe myself this. And this is what I want to do. And so it's a decision that we all have to make, each and every one of us. No one's perfect. And to change it, I just think the guys just have to say, look, let's be accountable. But it's got to be an internal thing. No one can make you accountable. No one can make you take care of your responsibilities. You have to make that decision on your own. And so how does it change? If I knew, I guess I'd be the head coach. I don't know. I'm not no knock to anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't personally know, because that's not what I get paid to do. But yeah, I just think we have to make that decision on our own.
Nick, you're Jerry Mcdonald. You're up for unrestricted free agency for the first time, and you had a pretty good year. The business side will take over, actually, but ideally, is this where you want to stay?
I'd love to be a Raider. I mean, this is all I know. I've been here for 4 years. This organization is basically where I grew up as far as football goes, and this fan base is one of the most loyal fan bases. There's no such thing as an away game with this fan base. They show up and they're faithful no matter what our record is, and I enjoy playing with these guys and the men in the locker room, the linebackers. It's probably been the best linebacker group that I've been a part of as far as chemistry goes. And I appreciate every single one of those dudes. Probably stay in contact with them even after, this year and whatever may happen to all of us. But, yeah, I'd love to be a Raider.
Nick, we just listened to Cory Littleton be pretty candid about where he thought he came up short this year in his first year in a new system, and just want to get your observations on him as a teammate and what it was like to see him come over as a big high ticket free agent and not have the season he wanted. How did he conduct himself? How did all that go?
Yeah, I think Cory's one of the best persons that I've ever been around in this league. He's very accountable to himself. Like you said, he's not one of those dudes that's gonna make an excuse for whatever the case may be. And so for that, I think a lot of people in the room respect him. We all know that Cory is a unique talent. He's very talented. He's very versatile. He can do a lot of things and do a lot of things well. The thing about Cory is his attitude was always the same, no matter what the case may be, whether he was playing a lot or wherever it was. He always showed up, ready to work, and in a pretty cheerful mood. So I respect Cory a lot, and I think that whatever may happen, I think Cory is one of the best players that I've ever seen at the linebacker position, just from talent. Like the things that he can do, there's not a lot of people in the league that can do it, and he definitely is one of those dudes who's accountable to his own actions. And so I'm more certain that whatever happens next year, he'll definitely have a better year by his standards and what he wants to do.
Anything else for Nick, guys? All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Nick.
Good luck, Nick.
Yep, thank you.
Hey, Daniel, this is Vic. Have you met Sebastian Janikowski, and what did it mean to break his record yesterday?
Yeah, I've met him at a couple games back in Oakland and stuff. Obviously, watched him all those years he was here. But, yeah, it was very meaningful. Anytime you could break a record like that for an organization like the Raiders, especially, it's a huge deal. Personally, for the team, obviously, scoring points for the team and helping the team with that, that's obviously the most important thing. So I'm glad I could help the team well I could this season and rack up some points along the way.
Any more questions, guys?
No. Daniel, what is the faith that Coach Gruden's talked you up a lot in terms of how much faith he has in you? What does that mean to you, and how does that contribute to your performance?
Yeah, I think it's huge. You want to have trust in your teammates and your coaches. Your coaches may have trust in you and faith in you, and so I think that means a lot coming from the head ball coach. And I think I was had a great successful year this year personally. Obviously there's improvements to be made, but to be able to kind of back up that faith and help the team out when they're counting on me at different situations. There's so many games come down to the wire and come close, so every point counts. And so for me to be reliable and for my teammates and my coaches to know that I'm going to be consistent and they can have faith in me, and I'm going to do my job, and just like the other 10 guys on the field are going to do their job when I'm out there, make my job a lot easier. So I think that's huge, and that's something that I hope to always have is the faith of my teammates and faith of my coaches.
Daniel, Heidi Fang, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Just wanted to ask from you, what was the high point for you being in Las Vegas this season, playing in a new stadium and all?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely hard to beat our first game in Vegas with the Saints. How that kind of came down to the wire. Got to take a 54-yard field goal, kind of seal the deal, and that was a pretty awesome moment to open the season up like that. With a big win at home, the first home game there. That's pretty special to be a part of kind of a historic moment like that, opening up in Las Vegas. And obviously we're excited to have fans and get to open it up there eventually. But, that was definitely one of the highlights of the year. There's others, but that's the first one that comes to mind.
Jen, you talked about improvements that can be made. Like how much can you improve, and what can you do, I guess, to build off this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously I missed a couple kicks, missed a couple extra points. I had a lot of kicks and, I made a lot, but there's obviously perfection to strive for in those categories statistically. And then, kickoffs, there's some things I could do better with hang time, with placement, different things there. There's always improvements, and just like any other position player, I'm always going to strive to, work harder and continue to improve on little things, technically, mentally, all of it to, hopefully improve my game for myself and for this team.
All set, guys? Okay. All right. Hey, thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Guys. Have a good one. Yep.
Hey, Hunter, Jerry Mcdonald from the Bay Area News Group. I'm curious to get your perspective on, you went through your rookie season last year, you had an off season and everything, and to watch Henry Ruggs and Brian Edwards go through the whole year without that kind of foundation. How do you think they did, and what kind of quantum leap do you think you'll see from them next year?
Yeah, hopefully a big league. It's impressive what they were able to do with not having an off season and also being in Coach Gruden's offense with all the verbiage and just how many plays the volume we have week to week. I think they kind of got put through the ringer, and so now they're able to, with not having an off season, they were play after play after play. And just digesting and also being able to perform. So this offseason, I think it's going to be big, just to be able to relax and take it all in, absorb it. And I know for me personally, it was big to do that and figure out how I can run these routes better, or take that play and make it look like this play. And so I think they did a great job. I know Brian was hurt a little bit there, so was Henry, and so it kind of impeded it a little bit, but I think they're poised to have a great year next year, and I'm excited to be working out with them this offseason.
Hey, Hunter, it's Josh Dubois from AP. Just wondering, when you offensively, you guys were more productive this season. Scoring was definitely up. But what are the areas that you think you guys need to improve on for next year to sort of get to that next level?
Yeah, no, we just got to keep getting better every day. I think obviously we moved the ball pretty well. We moved it right up the field, but and we knew coming into the season we had a better red zone offense than we weren't. And so that's something we have to address this offseason. I was making a joke with Daniel Carlson. I was saying, congratulations on the point record, but hopefully you set the extra point record next year, not the field goals and total points, because we got to score touchdowns in the red zone. And if we can do that, then I think there's no limit to this offense. Because I think we did a good job of being efficient and getting down the field, but we just have to capitalize a little better.
Hunter, as a first season here in Las Vegas, new stadium and all, I wanted just to get your take on how you felt the season went in the new stadium, and what was the high point for you?
Yeah, it was crazy. Such a weird year, weren't able to really leave the house much, see out Las Vegas. I live kind of in the facility, so it's just a facility and back home every day, and you really don't get to see much. And you kind of start to wonder if there's even a fan base in Vegas, because you don't get to see anybody you knew. But I think it was a good first season. We're going to look back on it and kind of be appreciative of what we have. It was weird, have an empty stadium, but it was cool. And like I said, I think it'd be appreciated when fans get in there. And I don't know, it was definitely a different season, and something that I think we'll remember. But I think an appreciation is kind of the thing I can take from it, and the guys on the team, that when we do have fans back and we're able to do the normal things we're able to do, then we'll just be able to appreciate it that much more.
Hunter, what parts of your own game do you think you improved from year one to year two, and what areas you seeking to improve on for next year?
Yeah, no, I have a big list. I kind of go through the film, and from week to week, I I have 2 notebooks, and one is for game plan, and one is for kind of off-season mode and what I want to work on. And so I got a good list together of things I want to improve on. Just short area quickness. I feel like sometimes getting in and out of the break, I'm not as effective as I could be. Obviously, I need to get stronger, be able to take some hits, more durable, not come out the game whenever I get hit hard. But I think something that I was pleased with myself with punt returning. That was something coming into the season I had never really done, and I wasn't really too sure about it. I was kind of nervous back there about catching the ball, but I got a lot more comfortable as the season came along, and I got a lot more comfortable with the front line and being able to read them. And they did such a great job all year of giving me some lanes. So I feel a lot better about that, but also I want to turn some of those gashes into touchdowns on punt return. So that's something I'll for sure work on.
And I heard both you and I think Nelson Aguilar during one point of the season were talking about this offense and how different it is for a receiver than anything else that we'd ever experienced in terms of learning it and understanding it. And I don't know. I guess how can you relate that to the common fan? How different is it what you guys do than from what you understand other teams do or what you did in college?
Yeah, college is different. So I didn't really have a good base of what other NFL teams did. But just talking to guys, it's different because you have a lot more reads, and so sometimes you want to be able to play fast and not think about much. But if you're able to play fast and not think about much, but still be able to decipher the coverage because you've done it so much in practice, prepped it so much, then there's no limit to how good you can be. The coach is only as smart as his players, and so it's tough for a defensive coach to kind of put all these plays in and how to stop us. And you have a guy like Waller or Nelly or Derek who can decipher what's going on and get you the right play, mid-play. It's just tough to stop. And so I think Nelly did a great job of that this year. But we got to continue to get better at it. We like to do things that are different than most pre-snap to kind of decipher the coverages, and I think it helped us for sure.
Anything else? Heather, real quick, just what areas did surprise you about Nelly this season? And obviously, you like to see him back with the Raiders next season, correct?
Sorry, I didn't catch that first part. What did you say?
I said, what areas surprised you about Nelly this year? You know, as a first-year Raider, and also, next year. I mean, I'm pretty sure you and your other teams are hoping that he returns to the Raiders next year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm recruiting him every day. I just talked to him a little bit ago. I'm doing my best recruiting pitch because he's a special player and he's a special leader in our room. And I think as me and Brian and Henry develop, I think him and Zay are a big part of that, and what they bring and how they approach the game, how they approach every day. He's a special player and he's a special person, like I said, in that room. But I was just impressed by his work ethic. I mean, he'll show up to the facility at 4 a.m. and be on the jugs at 4:30. I know one of the things that he wasn't pleased with was maybe having some drops, and I was proud. He attacked that head on, and he didn't just leave it by chance that, all right, new scenery, I'm gonna be better at that. He said, all right, I'm gonna be at the facility every morning at 4:30, and I'm gonna be catching jugs and after practice. And so I'm impressed by that part of his game, and I'm also impressed by. I mean, he was a slot for most of his time in Philly, and so to be able to come play on the outside and dominate the way he did on the deep balls, I mean, it was impressive as the season went along, just how many more he could have gotten.
All set, guys?
All right. Thanks, Hunter.
Thanks, Hunter. Have a good offseason.